We've learned the Texas Jazz Festival will remain at Heritage Park this year. The 58th annual event, which will take place in October, was in jeopardy of having to find a new venue because of additional security costs. Bill Churchwell spoke with both organizers and the city today. Bill?
And the Texas Jazz Festival Society president, Emilio Reyes, says that the organization met with the city this morning to discuss that issue and to come up with an agreement. Now, those talks were said to be successful, with the two sides deciding to share the added security cost for the festival this year. The Texas Jazz Festival is the longest running free jazz festival in the world, but this year organizers say the city wanted to take a proactive stance to terrorism and wanted security beefed up, something that would cost more money, to the tune of a possible $40,000 increase that would go towards things like more barricades and security guards.
We're about 48 days out. This is probably the best thing we could have asked for, but it's a huge relief because now we're able to go ahead and proceed forward with bands, arts and crafts, our vendors, our tents, everything that it takes to put the festival on.
The Jazz Festival is a main part of our community here, and we want them to stay and be a part of the community, and we want to provide it to the best level that we can for the community.
And Ellington said that today's talks included looking at the future of the Heritage Park site and said that it would be a discussion that would continue. Now, Reyes tells us that the festival has always been free to the public and will continue to be free to the public. Reporting live from Heritage Park tonight, Bill Churchwell, 3 News.